St. Valentine's Day Massacre in Chicago, 7 gangsters killed, allegedly on Al Capone's orders. The St. Valentine's Day Massacre was the murder of 7 members and associates of Chicago's North Side Gang that occurred on St. Valentine's Day 1929. The men were gathered at a Lincoln Park, Chicago garage on the morning of February 14, 1929. They were lined up against a wall and shot by 4 unknown assailants, 2 dressed as police officers. The incident resulted from the struggle to control organized crime in the city during Prohibition between the Irish Northsiders, headed by George "Bugs" Moran, and their Italian Chicago outfit rivals led by Al Capone. The perpetrators have never been conclusively identified, but former members of the Egan's Rats gang working for Capone are suspected of the role, as are members of the Chicago Police Department who allegedly wanted revenge for the killing of a police officer's son. At 10:30 a.m. on St. Valentine's Day, Thursday, February 14, 1929, 7 men were murdered at the garage at 2122 North Clark Street, in the Lincoln Park neighborhood of Chicago's North Side. They were shot by 4 men using weapons that included 2 Thompson submachine guns. 2 of the shooters were wearing police uniforms, while the others wore suits, ties, overcoats, and hats. Witnesses saw the men in police uniforms leading the other men at gunpoint out of the garage after the shooting. The victims included 5 members of George "Bugs" Moran's North Side Gang. Moran's second-in-command and brother-in-law Albert Cash Elk, alias James Clark, was killed along with Adam Hare, the gang's bookkeeper and business manager, Albert Wineshank, who managed several cleaning and dyeing operations for Moran, and gang enforcers Frank Xenberg and Pete Xenberg. 2 collaborators were also shot, Reinhard H. Schwimmer, a former optician-turned-gambler and gang associate, and John May, an occasional mechanic for the Moran gang. Chicago police officers arrived at the scene to find that victim Frank Xenberg was still alive. He was taken to the hospital, where doctors stabilized him for a short time and police tried to question him. He had sustained 14 bullet wounds. The police asked him who did it, and he replied, "No one shot me." He died 3 hours later. Al Capone was widely assumed to have been responsible for ordering the massacre, despite being at his Florida home at the time of the massacre. The massacre was an attempt to eliminate Bugs Moran, head of the North Side Gang, and the motivation for the plan may have been the fact that some expensive whiskey illegally imported from Canada via the Detroit River had been hijacked while it was being transported to Cook County, Illinois. The garage at 2122 N Clark Street was demolished in 1967, and the site is now a parking lot for a nursing home. The bricks of the north wall against which the victims were shot were purchased by a Canadian businessman. For many years, they were displayed in various crime-related novelty displays. Many of them were later sold individually, and the remainder are now owned by the Mob Museum in Las Vegas.